Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the building. Early September, Technologist Forum. Goodness gracious. I don't even know why I'm here. Listen, I'm going
So
to be off
are we
screen,
getting what's it called, existential tonight?
something
Why
like
are
that.
we here?
Yeah, we gonna get deep. It might be an intervention with the two co-hosts talking to me and kicking me to the curb. So we'll see
Yep.
how that works.
Yep. That's what we're
um,
doing.
this is a rebroadcast, so to speak. We tried to do this session a few weeks last month, actually, talking about community platform, CMS, LMS, whatever three-letter acronym you want to call it. And the idea again for us, as I always say, digital creators, content creators, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, choosing the right community platform. Right. There's a ton out there. There's a lot that's happening, good, bad, pros and cons, especially with one large platform. We're going to go into it. And where does it make sense to live? Where does it make sense to build your foundation for your community? You can't be on, as we typically say in these streets, we can't be on rented land all the time. You got to have that mortgage, you got to have that deed. And you have to own. You want to own the people. You want to own the platform. You want to own the engagement. I got to be clear when I say some of these things, right? Because I don't know who's listening. So, but you have to own kind of that direction. And if you can
Mhm.
avoid noise, and if you can avoid things don't match with the mission of the community, then of course you want to do that. Um, y'all start chopping in. I see people coming in the comments. We got some hecklers in here. I need some more moderators. We need some more moderators right here because I see some folks that I may kick. Oh, he is a moderator. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, Stone
Is
is
the
a
heckler
moderator.
the moderator? Is that what's
I
happening?
forgot he is a moderator. Oh my. Okay,
Oh
I guess I'll
boy.
leave him alone.
Okay.
Appreciate him for being here. Florence is in the building as well. Appreciate you, sis. Uh, man, coming in all the way from Germany. I saw you on Neil's session earlier this morning. Good stuff as always. So, Tanya, let's start with you. Jim, I'm sorry, it's always going to be ladies first, dude. So
No, I
you
agree.
just
I'm
have to
with you.
sit by the curb,
I'm with you.
right?
Ladies first.
You know that open
Okay.
diatribe that I gave about owning your platform, owning the communication, owning the direction, and there's a lot of us started on Facebook. Let's start there. A lot of us
Okay.
started on Facebook, but I've said it
Mhm.
many times. I'll never get a brand deal from Meta because me and Mark Zuckerberg don't get along. Listen, I can't. I'm
Well,
sorry. Talk
well.
talk to me about kind of from starting from there and kind of the draw of that platform and
Mhm.
where are you now specifically in terms of, you know, are you still leveraging that platform for any of your communications with your community and your business? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And I do. I still leverage Facebook, but on my own terms,
Mm,
right? One of the things that changed for me mightily within the last year and a half to 2 years is that I recognized at some point that I was tired of the games
mm,
because they were making a lot of just, it felt like random changes even to the point to where people who were avid evangelists of Meta and Facebook were starting to scratch their heads and say,
mm,
what is going on? For me, the big change came when they started taking away control from groups because the groups
yeah.
were supposed to be the spaces where you were able to grow your community and make connections with the people you wanted to connect with. And people were signing up specifically to be a part of your space. But what they were doing, even in that space, is they were taking away your opportunity to be seen by the people who were allegedly following you in a part of your community. And so, a big thing that happened for us is we had kind of created this crowdsourced document that had all these tools and resources for this group. One day, woke up and it was gone,
Oh my
like just
goodness.
completely gone. So all the work that the people in the group had put into, sharing resources and partnering with each other just disappeared. And that was probably the start for me of making the move to, you know what? I'm going to always have a backup. I'm going to always own my stuff, to the point to where I actually created an own framework, and not the own, network, but the own framework. So own your audience, work smarter, and nail your brand. When you do those three things, and we can talk about that throughout this, but
Mm-hmm.
when you do those three things and you get clear about who you are, who you serve, and what you want to talk about and how you want to connect with them, right? Then you start thinking like an owner instead of a renter, which is what you
Right.
said. And I say that all the time.
Man,
So,
I
yeah.
should start charging you like a finder's fee for that statement. I don't know.
Whatever.
I was telling my wife the other day, I need to trademark some of these statements because,
What?
yeah, because somebody said, we're going to get back into what you just said, but it's a squirrel moment. Somebody said, don't let your 5 to 9 interfere with your 9 to 5. Y'all hear me? Come on.
Mm.
Let
Mm.
that marinate. You heard that
Mm.
there? I don't want you using that
Mm.
next week on your stream.
It's
I
gonna be
heard
in a
somebody
shirt.
say that the other day. I'm like, man, I need to start. Okay.
It's gonna be on a shirt.
It's going to be on a
Yeah,
shirt somewhere.
it's gonna be on a shirt.
So Meta platforms couldn't do it for you because you didn't have the
Well,
ownership.
the downfall was the whole ownership thing, right? Because I recognized at that point, I'm like, oh, they're telling me we can take away this space at any time. We can take away whatever hard work you've put into this space and what you've earned. We can take that away. And I said, no, I'm not willing to give you that type of leverage. So I ended up in March of 2024 actually disbanding my group. And that was literally about a month before they turned off the feature of live streaming
Oh my
through
gosh.
third-party platforms.
Just threw a wrench right
So
in
at that
everything.
point, I was like, hey, I'm glad I moved. Like, I moved to my own space so that I can control that too. And people were having freak out moments. Oh my God, what do we do? How do we go live? On all, and that was a major way for connecting people in the groups, is by going live and being able to pull people in.
Mhm.
But they were so set on making sure that they had control of everything. And I don't even want to start going there about this whole idea of certain people attempting to control everything. But that to me felt like it felt like a
Hit a nerve just
precursor.
now. You just hit a nerve.
Yes. So I'll just be quiet right there and let y'all talk.
I love that, and I see the comments coming in. Jim, I'm gonna get to you in a second, but I keep picking at this Facebook thing, and I want to
Yeah.
ask a question that I've only talked to a couple of folks about. If the platform was a paid for platform where you controlled, because again, everyone on the planet is on that platform, and there's
Yeah.
value in that.
Yes.
If you could pay for that platform, if there was a pro or premium, not the professional as they're calling it right now, but
Mhm.
if there was a tier of the platform where you can kind of brand your own ecosystem on the platform, would you be willing to do that? I'm just throwing it out hypothetically.
I would need to, because frankly, and I'm just going to be honest, my monetization
Hey,
strategy is based on solid ground. It's on my platforms that I own. So here's what I'm going to say. The power of being able to leverage professional mode on personal profiles, that's really all I needed. The rest of that stuff, whoever's doing really well in those spaces, good for you. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it didn't work for me. It wasn't where I wanted to build, because I still recognize, even with the metapocalypse that happened a few months ago, where people had
that
thousands
apocalypse.
of it was the metapocalypse. Remember where all the groups just disappeared
Mm-hmm.
overnight and people were freaking out even then. So even
Mm-hmm.
people that had built hundreds of thousands of followers in groups, and it was just gone. And that was a mistake. But what if it really was intentional, even if they were paying them? So I just have this kind of side eye that I give Meta
Mm-hmm.
on every platform.
Come on
Like,
over. I'm with
I'm
you.
going to keep on doing what I'm doing. And I'm going to keep on leveraging the visibility on your space. And I'm going to play nicely in my personal profile with professional mode turned on. But at any given moment, my content is platform proof, and it can live anywhere I choose for it to live. I'm always going to have a backup. So that's just how I move, because they've made it clear that they own the space, which, hey, they own the space. And I have made a choice that I want to be a business owner and a landlord, not a renter.
Ooh,
Hold on. Let's let that
there's another
marinate for a
shirt.
minute. Yeah, well,
Just saying.
that's the gem right there. That's one of them right there. So, folks who are probably new to this session, again, we rise above the level of the noise, and we have those kinds of conversations. And yeah, if you live stream, you create content for fun and all that. That's all good. We all started there, but my two co-hosts here, RK3 in the comments, Dr. Stone in the comments. Right, we are actually doing a little something different. We're trying to bring value to communities and focusing on purpose. So a lot of the conversations that you'll see us having are beyond kind of the scope of just lights, cameras, microphones, infrastructure, but it's how to leverage these platforms to grow and sustain a business. So I appreciate you for saying that. And you see how I gave RK3 a little plug there, brother. We got to get you on this show. We
Yes.
got to get him on this show. He over there. Come on, he over there running LinkedIn. We on LinkedIn right now. Is somebody multi-streaming on LinkedIn?
I am.
Let me
Yeah.
watch what I
I
say
think
because
I'm
yeah,
multi-streaming over there.
I love it. I love it. Dan Tanner is in the building. He said he thought I was his twin. I don't know who Dan Tanner is. That who's that coming from? Is that coming from your side, Tanya?
Dan is the man. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Dan
okay.
Dan is fire.
Wanted to make sure I didn't have to block him. I just want to make sure that he was okay.
He's
No,
good people. He's good people.
it's all good. The educated natural panelists and all. Appreciate you for being here. So let me turn this question that came in from Chris to you along these same kind of lines, right? So Tanya kind of set it up, the conversation in terms of why most of us started there. We're now starting to migrate. I was going to use a big fancy word, but I'm not a big fancy word guy. We started to migrate to other platforms that made more sense. Jim, you are big on Substack. I think I started it for you, and you took the
you
ball
did.
and ran. You did the Saquon,
You
brother. You
lit
did,
you lit the match. That's right.
yeah.
You lit the match. Well, I think it really it came down to a couple things. One, the fact that you could live stream not only now with their app, but with tools like Ecamm, Restream, Zoom.
Yeah.
If it's got RTMP, you can use it on Substack. But I've been following the category pirates, Chris
Mm,
Lockhead, Nicholas Cole, and those guys. And one of the things that Christopher Lockhead talked about in one of his podcasts is that Substack is a new category. It's not a social media channel as we think of things like Facebook and these others. It is a direct to creator platform, meaning when these people subscribe to you, you are directly connected to them one on one or one to many, depending on how you want to communicate with them. And just the features that they continue to add beyond the ability to, put written content, video content, live or recorded, and even audio content, and to have things like chats. And we were talking today on Madeline Scalar's live show about how Notes is like the OG Twitter. That's what it has
Yeah.
evolved to, but you don't have a limit of 240 characters.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
so the fact that I knew I needed to do this for a long time is I needed to get those emails of the people that are connected and interested in me. And Substack does that for you. And so I really, at this moment, sure, there's always pros and cons, and but it's like people say, but you don't own the platform. It's like I don't need to own the platform because I can take
Mm,
that list of people and say, hey, we're moving over here, we're moving over there. Where on Facebook, when the metapocalypse happened, if you had not already figured out a way to do that, which isn't easy to begin with, a lot of work to make that happen, you lost them. They were
yeah.
gone. It was like, hey, you didn't pay. We had that happen at a mall here where they didn't pay the electric bill one day, and everybody showed up, and the building was shut down. They're like, what happened? It's like, oh, the landlord wasn't paying their bill. So that's kind of the same thing. Like
Good
we have no
analogy.
idea what's going on, but
Mhm.
I just think that the connections that I'm making, I think going back to what Tanya said, I'm connecting with people that maybe they were on these other platforms, but we never saw each other. I love the fact that, like we talk about sometimes with YouTube, is like, well, I want to talk about X, Y, and Z, but they're not all related. Well, guess what? I can create a different publication on Substack that talks
Yeah.
about Y and talks about Z, and I get a different list, an audience, so I can stay connected in that way, as opposed to trying to do that on these other platforms, and just the way that you can organize things. I mean, the fact that we did I did a couple fun things. So when Chris and I were at VidFest, Mario from Sure was there. I said, "Hey Mario, we're going to go live on Substack," and I just used the phone and the amazing uh, move mics, and we went live, and I recorded their booth, and he showed us, flipping the camera like you can with Instagram. Here's what they had, and then I saved it as a draft, downloaded it, gave it to Chris, and then he put it over on our Dealcasters page as a blog post with all the links to the stuff that was talked about in the video. Now,
Mhm.
try doing that on another platform, easy and seamlessly. It doesn't happen. So I think that I look at Substack as kind of step one of building your community. And step two is when we go to these other things. I know Tanya was talking about Heartbeat. I'm choosing to go to School with a K because they keep adding new features that I think are really important to people that want to have a community. Because everybody says, "Oh, but I don't know how many people. What is there? Is it 3 billion people on Facebook? I don't know. Planet Earth.
Yeah.
Planet Earth's not my audience,
Come on, man.
right?
My goodness. Hey, you're going to
That's
feed everybody.
when somebody says to you like, "Well, who are you looking to do business with?" Everyone. No, you're not. Then you're not doing business with anyone.
Yep.
You have to be focused on who your target audience is, right? You
Mhm.
got to be I'll use a Marine term. You got to be a sniper, right? One shot, one kill. Because sometimes that's all you get.
I love that. I love that. I've got your Substack up right here, right now. And folks in the comments, chime in, give us your thoughts, give us your opinions as well. Dan, I apologize. I see what you mean. Listen, man, I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, brother. So the mind ain't doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I apologize. I see you, my brother. Um, Substack does appear to be creator centric, right? Again, and the algorithms that they have, the recommendation engines that they have, I'm able through a lot of you that I'm also connected with and a lot of other folks find like-minded individuals, like-minded entrepreneurs and individuals and
Mhm.
make those connections, find ways of collaborating with them as well. Again, the fact that it's pretty straightforward, I like the fact that you can go live from your mobile phone. There used
Mhm.
to be there used to be an app. It was the cheap Anchor.
Mm.
The thing that drew me to Anchor for all us old school cats is the fact that you could go live and you can record right from your phone and you can reach your community, right? The friction was pretty minimal.
Mhm.
And honestly, we've got so much going on in our head, in our minds, on our vision boards. I point over there because that's where mine is. Just the fact that we're trying to do so many things in these 1,440 minutes per day. That's a shout out to Florence
Yeah.
Donald. Uh, that if we find a platform, we find a tool, especially in today's AI driven world, that allows us to take some cycles out of the workflow. Substack is doing that. We're live right now on all three of our Substack pages
Mhm.
simultaneously, effortlessly, and reaching all of those communities, and it's branching out to others as well. So I mean, the onion is blossoming, whatever analogy you want to use. So that's one reason why I have also kept Substack near the top of the list and continued to flourish on that. I started doing what I do and peeking at other platforms just so I could be aware of them. So ghost.org is a
Mhm.
very similar platform, which is open source, which is not hosted. You pay for it on a premium basis. It was like $15 a month. But with Ghost, they don't take any of the transaction fees. Right. So when you have
Mm.
paid subscriptions on Substack, they take I think it's
Mhm.
3%, 5%, whatever the case may be. So that's not there on Ghost. But
Yeah.
the ease of use and the frictionless aspect of Substack, we should be doing a commercial for 'em. The frictionless aspect of Substack
We are.
really,
I'm gonna have a con on this in a minute, though. I'm gonna have something to put out
definitely,
there in a second.
definitely. Let's do that. Let's get into that.
Couple of things. One, there's been some changes recently to the whole payment structure, and I think this has to do with Apple subscriptions.
Okay.
So I don't know if you
Mhm.
all have noted that, but there's been a lot of I won't say a lot of fervor because people haven't paid attention yet, but once they start reading this and seeing some of the changes, there's been a little bit of a tiny uprising around that because we know how Apple does. I used to have
Yeah.
an Apple app myself, and what they do is take a big chunk, right? And because they're taking a big chunk on, if you get Substack on an Apple phone with your subscriptions, they're now going to have to pass that fee off to
Mhm.
subscribers. So
You mean like
subscribers who are
tariffs?
we just keep throwing them, don't we? Yes, that's what I mean.
Lord have mercy.
And
I'm gonna
so
have some 3-letter acronyms come knocking on my door here in a minute. There'll
you
be
know,
CIA,
and
FBI. Okay.
I'm trying to keep him out of trouble, but it is something that we need to pay attention to because they're going to be charging more for subscriptions on Apple, which is going to make it harder for people to be able to migrate off later. There were also some concerns about the fact that Substack behind the scenes may be making it harder for people to monetize if you're sharing external links. So
Mm.
the feed, and this is what the other platforms have done, right? So to Chris's question, I'm taking a little bit of a slightly different approach than Jim and others that I'm seeing on there that are doing really well. I'm taking the approach that I'm using them for visibility. It's a part of my system, but my monetization remains in my own space. My monetization is the foundation. I showed you my little setup earlier,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that's the way that I roll. So Substack is a part of that system. Here, I
Okay.
can you
Well,
want
so
me to
so ta-
share
so
it?
so let's talk about this right first because
Yeah.
that's a different aspect that I hadn't thought about what you were saying. So this is
Uh-huh.
top of the funnel for you.
Nope, this is not necessarily a top of the funnel, but it's a part of the funnel.
Okay.
It's somewhere in the middle.
It's the flywheel.
Because so if I gave you,
It's
for
part of your
instance, because
flywheel.
right, traditional funnels don't work anymore, right?
Mm.
Gone are the days of the
Mm.
traditional funnel. People don't just come in and flow down. It doesn't work that way. But what I do is I leverage YouTube for a purpose, LinkedIn for a purpose, Facebook for a purpose. Substack is in there for thought leadership and visibility. So the way that I'm leveraging it is when I do the live streams and I turn them into articles, right? It does give people a place to go and to consume the information either through audio, video, or the articles. But it also still has at the top right there, most of those navigation buttons are going to my stuff.
Mhm.
They're going to my website. They're going to my coaching page. They're going to my discovery call. They're even going to my podcast, not necessarily the Substack podcast, right? So
Good
I'm
distinction.
saying that I'm using it as a part of the system, but it is not the system. But I know that there are a lot of people who are effectively right now using it as the main system. It's
Yeah.
just, again, I'm sticking with my principles, and what I'm learning as I mature is that it is important to me to stick with I'm not going to stray away from what I know to be true. I've had 20 years of this, right? So what I know to be true is that I want to own my stuff. I know to be true that I want to monetize on my platforms in my spaces. I want my coaching programs and what services I'm offering and delivering. I want to make 100% of that commission, right? I don't want to give any of that away. But I know that I can also, in a smart way, leverage these other spaces. So, as you can see on this chart, YouTube is my discovery mechanism. That's where I'm building the authority in the SEO. So, I'm always going to have videos there. LinkedIn is about credibility. It's like my walking business card, but I don't really, and this is just me, I know for those of you who love LinkedIn, I don't really use LinkedIn in a way that some do. For me, it is just a business card. I have a presence because I know people are going to want to see me there. Facebook is where I do have my free community, but I'm leveraging it on my personal profile with professional mode turned on so I can see statistics, so I can deal with metrics, so I can see how I'm rising and falling in terms of the visibility and the conversation and engagement. But Substack is another nurture vehicle. It's another space where I'm getting in front of a group, like Jim said, a group of people who never would have seen me potentially because they just love being on Substack. I get to be introduced to folks who are new to my space, who are becoming aware of who I am, but I'm then leading them to my own website, my own podcast, my own community, my stuff. Just saying.
Love it. Love it. And you know, I want to add to what I think you bring up some really good points. One, the thing about LinkedIn and Peter and I were on earlier kind of talking before we went live talking about neuro branding. Just the whole thing of, you know, if you put long video on LinkedIn, people don't consume it. And it's not really set up as a place for people to really go find it. So that's where
That's right.
YouTube is so powerful. But I also think it's interesting, and I, as I always joke, I always like do this poll, and whenever I'm in some of these speaking opportunities I've had, how many of you read the podcast notes or the description on YouTube of a video? And it's almost nobody.
Right.
So that's
Mm.
where Substack is so powerful by being able to take, as an example, this video and turning it into a blog post. So they don't want to watch this amazing conversation, they can read about it. And that's what I did with my most recent post on Substack. That was originally a live that I then incorporated with some screen grabs to explain how I got to going live and what happened when it was over. And so now you can read like, oh, here are the steps.
Yeah.
Or you can say, I'm going to watch how the steps work. And I think that's powerful from education and discovery. And then to your point, you get people that want more one-on-one, you know, you know, where you're going to actually bring in that community building. And I think that's the other thing is I think we're getting to the point because of all the noise on a lot of these platforms, we want to hang out with like-minded people that fit our space, not just be out there for everybody. So I think I'd have to agree with you on Facebook, Tanya. I just don't, I feel like some days I'm like, I'm just done with Facebook because even my kids, they don't really spend any time on there.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's if you're not on Facebook, you must not be real, right? Then you're a bot.
Is that what it is? Listen, I'm only there because my mom is there, right? I think that's the only reason I'm streaming there right now. I don't know. I see my dad is watching. I don't know if she's watching, but
Yeah, I got a big family. I got my dad is the eldest of 12. My mom
Yeah.
is the youngest of 9. So I got lots of cousins and aunts and uncles. And then we also are a Marine family also, Jim, like you. So
Hoorah.
we got military family. Like there's people that we've connected with over the
Air
years.
Force
And
is the one you want to be with, right? Air Force.
he said
Okay.
that.
We fly
He's right in
high.
the middle.
Well,
Yeah, we
my
fly high.
son-in-law's Air Force, so I gotta, you know, I gotta
So you
show
gotta
them
give
some
him a
love
shout
there.
out.
Yeah.
Hey, my husband, if he's watching this, no, he's not going to give me that. But I'll give it to you because I love you, Hicks, because you're my brother. And this is your show.
Just our show.
Just saying.
I'm making a marker right there. So that's gonna be all over the internet in about 3 hours right there. I'm gonna make sure. And shouts out, I see some folks that have just subscribed to me on Substack. I'm trying to bring it back here. You know, okay, bring it back. That's a very interesting statement that you made there because about the fact of Substack versus some of these other platforms. I mean, I'm building on Mighty right now. Full disclosure, I have an agreement with Gina, the founder of Mighty. So I told her I'd give it a shot, right? But I love the fact that they're transferable, excuse me, and the fact that I can actually move between platforms and kind of be seamless to the users and to the community. But that's initially where I'm at right now. I don't like the fact of having to move right 6 months, 8 months down the road, whatever the case may be. And I know a lot of us have talked about Substack. We talked about School. We've talked about Heartbeat. We've talked about Circle. So there's all these quality tools and platforms out there for building, but and I don't think no one's really winning, right? Everyone's car is fast, right? And tell me if I'm wrong. I think they're all good in their own right. It all depends on the owner, the curator, the shepherd of that community doesn't meet their needs. Like the one challenge that I have with school, I love how straightforward it is. I love how, again, frictionless it is, but they don't have live streaming capability. And we're video folks. I got to have video. So right now
Next
I can't
week.
have video. Talk about that. You said that was probably coming?
Yeah, next week. They already put native video in. That was the first big thing they did. So their live streaming is next, and I want to say tiers for subscriptions. So you could be free, and then I could have a tier within this community that you pay a little bit and you get something else. So I haven't seen the rollout of how that's going to work. Go watch the video where they talked about it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how that works, because to me, that's part of the, I'm actually going to say something negative about Substack. That's part of the challenge with Substack's, paid tiers, is you're kind of limited in what you can do, right? It's like you got monthly, annual, or founder, but you can't say, well, you can do a one-time thing for X, right?
Yeah.
And that, so that's why part of the reason I have mine on at the moment until I get more paid subscribers, it's almost like a tip jar in a way, right? And but then I think my plan is, my Substack subscribers get invited to school, and that's the only people I'm inviting, right? I won't kick them out, but I'm not looking as like, hey, anybody can join my school. I really want that to be, hey, since you support me on Substack, you get to be a part of this community where I'm going to dive deeper into a lot of the things that have to do with video.
Interesting. Educated natural coming in with the Army. We're going to give y'all some props too. Okay.
All right, Army.
Okay.
Hey, all the military. Look, anybody who has served, if you have community or family members that have served, hey, kudos to you.
That's
kudos.
For sure.
So it really doesn't matter what branch. You get a shout out from me.
Did you guys see my crazy video from last week?
I saw something. I didn't get to watch the whole thing yet, so now I need to go back and pay attention.
I shared it as a note on Substack, and then I also put it on my Facebook. But the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps was at Rally Point Grill here in Woodstock, and so you talk about a small world. So when I was a young captain, he was a young Lance Corporal. That's an E3 in the Air Force, in case you weren't sure, Hicks.
You know what?
And he was my company clerk.
Shots fired.
When I was the commanding officer of this company. So he's now the senior enlisted person in the Marine Corps. So first time we've seen each other since Okinawa. But he actually tells people, and he told his gunnies there, that I was the first leader that ever said to him, I was like, hey, you know what? I think you could be an officer and a leader someday. He said, I was the first person that ever believed in him. And now he's Sergeant Major Marine Corps.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
The only reason I like you, well, there's a lot of reasons, but it's because I knew about the Okinawa. So my dad's watching, and he probably chimed in when he said that, because I told you, we were at Kadena. So you were down the road at
Kinzer.
At the,
My husband was in Okinawa too.
Shouts out. See?
Yes.
The whole first year of our marriage, he was in Okinawa.
Come on now. That's Kadena Air Force Base. Listen,
it's a nice place. I played golf there.
Y'all be careful, because there's 3 degrees of separation, and I'll bring this back. Small degrees of separation. Here we are talking about the Air Force, and it's interesting what Syed was saying, because on LinkedIn, everyone's out there doing their thing. Great thing about LinkedIn, though, people know your real name and your faces. I won't say, unlike someone with the Pikachu avatar. Now, we all know someone who goes by the nickname Pikachu, so we're not going to call them out, because we love them. But and she may be watching, so if she chimes in, I'm not going to do anything about that. I'll just sick her on you, and she'll come get you.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Right.
And that's the thing. I don't think we're not saying, at least I haven't heard it yet, that any of us are saying that any path that you choose is wrong. I think the path that you choose has to be right for you.
Yes.
It needs to be right for you. It needs to be right for your audience. He's writing that down too. Right for you, right for your audience, right? the right niche, all of those things need to fall into formation in order for it to be the right package. So you can't go wrong really with any of the tools, the community platforms that you've mentioned. And we all have, I think, had our hand in all of them between the
Yeah.
three of us,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I don't think you can go wrong with them. I think you just need to you need to examine what are the features that I need. How do my people, my audience, how do they consume information? And is this platform positioned so that I could give them the information in the way they like to consume it and the way I like to teach it or deliver it? So
Yeah.
most of these tools, most of the platforms across the board they're like all adopting the same features. So
Right.
soon they're going to look very much alike.
Like I said,
Or
they're all winning,
But
right?
what's interesting though, and so I think where they've failed, right?
Mm.
And I'm going to speak specifically to Facebook and LinkedIn,
Mhm.
is that they've made groups difficult. And I think
Yes.
what I don't understand, because I completely agree with what you said about if you choose something else and how to measure that. I hear every once in a while I hear someone say, "Oh, but I've already got all these people on Facebook." It's like, but is it really doing anything for your business? Like if
Yeah.
it goes back to what we were saying before we jumped on, it's like, don't if people want to be led by you, right? Because I know these other two people I'm here with are leaders, not followers. They will follow you to where you're going. Because otherwise, if they don't want to follow you, uh, they're really not that interested in what you're offering.
Yeah.
So I mean,
True.
so stop being on the LinkedIn and Facebook group train it because they're not getting any better. They've had their time. I used to think when Microsoft bought LinkedIn, I said they're finally going to fix LinkedIn groups.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Nope.
Still waiting.
I do know, and I see Gabe is in here. He said his path was LinkedIn, and it's been a great experience for him. Gabe, let me
Mhm.
ask you this because I'm at a contentious point with LinkedIn. My profile has the creator stuff activated, and my organizational page also has the creator, but I very rarely go live on my org page. And I'm wondering again. We thought when Microsoft was going to buy it that it was going to be dope, right? They were going to turn
Yeah.
everything on. It was going to be nice. You could do the vertical, and you can do the landscape, and it was just going to be the end all to be all for business minded folks to go live.
Nope.
They didn't forgot how to get into the room where the LinkedIn servers are or something because it's nothing's happened.
Look, RK3 said, boo, LinkedIn groups.
Yeah.
Gabe said it's the worst. He wanted to punch the screen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there is games on LinkedIn, right? I forgot about that.
Bruh, if I get
Yes.
another direct message from LinkedIn telling me that folks in my circle are playing some kind of playing spades or something
Oh,
on
what?
LinkedIn, whatever it was. I'm
I
like, come
might
on,
need to jump in on that. Hold on. I'm just saying.
playing a little pinochle on LinkedIn. I'm like, listen, come on, y'all. I love
Did they
it.
bring that over from like Windows 3.1? Remember when people used to play cards on their desktop with their
Yep.
Windows desktops? That maybe they
Oh,
brought
yeah.
that over from there.
We over there poking each other like Facebook, right? And if they turn on poking on LinkedIn, I'm out.
Uh,
I'm completely out.
and again, it works if it works for you, don't look, my motto for the rest of 2025 is continue to do more of what works. And I
Mm,
keep reminding myself of that. Like, you don't have to go follow the new shiny. You literally can
Mhm.
continue to do what works. If something is working for you right now, don't break it. Because right now in this moment, there's a lot of things that are broken without you messing with it. Okay. So do what works for you. And if LinkedIn is your jam, then by all means. But it has never been a spot for me to be able to leverage the type of visibility and engagement that drive business. It just hasn't been that way for me, but I've used other spaces effectively to do so. So we're not telling you there's some magic formula. What we're sharing is
yeah.
just our personal experiences and filters, and then also hopefully opening up some possibilities for people who haven't thought about a possibility and they're struggling right now. So I think that that's the hope from this call.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. So I just want to double click on that because you've noticed we've mentioned a lot of places, but no one said, "Oh, you got to go use this. This is the one for you. This is my recommendation. You got to use the SM7B. Or you got to do this. If Mario or Laura are listening, y'all see we representing. Okay, another little pitch, but no one's necessarily saying that piece right there. And if it works for you, Gabe, still, I see you going live every week. That's dope. I love the fact there. I think Mr. Kennedy, I think he still goes live there every now and then as well with some of his brands that he's working with. And if it
Yeah.
works, it works. But no one is saying that you got to go with Mighty, you got to go with School, you got to go with Heartbeat or any of these other platforms. Take a look at them though, and make the decision that's right for you and your community and the direction that you're trying to go. All right, I'm off the soapbox. There we go. Jim, go ahead and fill it in, Jim. I'm looking at these comments to make sure nobody says anything.
You hit on something earlier, like you were talking about the one thing you wanted to be, which, like I said, is apparently coming to school here, in the very near future, is the ability to live stream. And I think that for a lot of people has been, they want to do that because that's one of the best ways to make that connection, right? That's one of the reasons that we're live streaming today. We've got all these great people, in the chat. We've got Gabe and Saeed, and we got, RK3, who is on Substack now. So if you're not subscribed to him, go subscribe to him now. So,
Yes.
make sure to do that. Chris Stone as well. And so that's the sort of thing that you get by going live in a group, is now you can have that interaction. And that's where, I think we all like that, right? This is not scripted. We're just telling you what we think. We may regret it later, but that's okay. That's
blame
live
me,
streaming.
but that's purpose. That's purposeful. You guys know.
Yeah.
I'll give you like 80% of the run of show, and then
but
if
we were in a place in real life, in person, like we have been a couple of times, we don't know where the conversation would take us, but you would see us being exactly the same as we are right now. Because we're not sitting there like, I'm going to do this video 5 times till I say it in exact, inflection and tone and something else. So I think that's where I completely see why you think that's important, James, for what you're wanting to do with your communities. And that's one of the things that got me interested in learning this from Madeline Sklar about, like, oh, they're going to start having live streaming. Oh, they've got native video. Okay, this has got my attention. And because now it wasn't $99 a month, but $9, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Because I think too, and maybe you guys can talk about this, I understand people wanting to do things for free, but at some point, if you're in business, you've got to make the investment.
You over here looking at my notes. You over here looking at my notes. I was about to bring that up.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna jump in on this one.
Get in there. Get in some of that.
I'm gonna jump in. Look, we doing a double dutch.
Yeah, because we were. You see, all of us raised up. I adjust my glasses because that's getting warm in here, boy.
Seriously, okay, because I do want to say that there are people, and there is a point in your career, especially when you're newer as a coach or whatever the work is that you offer to the world, right? There's a point where you are looking to do minimal damage to your budget, right? And so you're trying to make sure that you're leveraging all the free tools and toys and things and even advice, right? But then at some point you have to mature and grow up, because you can't charge what you haven't invested.
Boom.
I learned that from my own mentor, that when she was telling me, hey, the reason why I can charge people $1,000 a month for coaching is because I've paid $10,000. And when she said it, at first I didn't get it, but then I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Because you understand the power of investing in yourself and being able to learn and to gain new skills and understanding and wisdom and knowledge that you can pass on to someone else. You have to think about that. It's worth it to invest in the tools that you're going to use so that you have the right tools to be able to deliver on the promise that you're making to the people who are going to be your clients. Otherwise, you can't charge them what you really need to charge them. You can't charge them what, they always talk about charge what you deserve and all of that, right? You can't do that if you're not putting in place a system that works and that provides them with the type of experience that they're paying for. So you do need to look at how to invest in a platform that's going to double and triple the returns. You want to make the money back, but you do need to invest in a solid, really strong platform that's going to support you as you grow. Soapbox moment over.
It's
Listen,
100%.
I'm just tell you what, I'm just gonna pop in from the bottom right here.
What? I was like, where did James go?
I don't know what he was doing.
No, so good. I was just gonna pop in from the bottom and say, boy, if y'all don't hit that like or something on Tanya's channel right now, Jim's too. I mean, but if you don't follow, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, those were the gems right there.
Mhm.
Investing in, and we didn't talk about the gear, right? I know Gabe said the word gear, but we didn't necessarily talk about, again, the lights and the cameras and the microphones and all that stuff. Yeah, focus on the audio because that's the most important thing. People can
Mhm.
get by with video if it's choppy, but man, people pay attention to what they pay for, folks. And if
Yep.
you are out here trying to find all the free stuff, all the stuff that's still in very early stage from a SaaS development perspective, stuff that hasn't
Yep.
fully been baked, that's close, but you're a
Mhm.
alpha, beta, gamma tester on the platform. That's going to show as a reflection of you when you try to
Yep.
turn that on to your community, because man, it don't look like James is ready, right? It looks like, his
Mhm.
fonts
Mhm.
don't look right, his hex codes are off. Y'all know I know my hex codes, and
Hex
we can't
code.
have
Me
that.
too.
Listen, we know these things. And I was literally just talking with Chris Stone about this earlier this afternoon, how anal that I am. I didn't want to use the word anal, but detail oriented. And if you're not
I like that.
detail
That's good.
oriented when you are dealing with people's time,
Yeah.
forget their emotion, forget what their wants and dreams. And when you're dealing with
Mhm.
somebody's time and then you
Mhm.
don't show up like kind of what you're doing, I'm gonna go someplace else.
Yep.
I'm going to give my time, my energy, my effort, and my attention to someone else. So yeah, invest in the infrastructure. Worry about the gear second, but invest in the right platforms, the right tools, the right soft skills as well.
Yeah.
How to maybe look in that camera and actually have a dialogue, or how to be on that Zoom and have that conversation with someone one on one. Be strong in your rate card. We ought to write some of this stuff down for future conversations. Know what to charge.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But James, you bring up an excellent point, right? It's not only the attention to detail, but if you don't have something that's bringing value to folks, it doesn't matter if you spent $10,000 on a setup, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I think the thing that I respect both of you and the people that are, in the chat here, that I know some of them are on this show in other weeks, is that everyone here is a continuous learner. We
Mhm.
don't say, "Hey, oh, I got a live stream. I'm done. I made it. I don't ever have to do anything again." No, because things change. Because we might say, "You
Yeah.
know what?" And we won't name names because we know what happens sometimes. Some of these platforms we use, like, this thing ain't working right. This is not acceptable. So we're always looking what's out there. But to your point, James, it's like if this other thing we're looking at isn't ready for prime time, not going
Mhm.
to use it during prime time.
That's right.
Can't do it. Sorry. I'll
Yep.
test it and I'll give you my best and worst case scenarios. I'll tell you that your baby's ugly, which I've done. And I literally say that statement with a lot of brands that I work with at an early stage.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when your baby's ugly.
Yep.
And hopefully
Same.
you appreciate that honesty.
Mhm.
Um, Soft skills are
Mhm.
critical. Strong take. Thank you. Appreciate you, Dr. Vibe. Appreciate you. Dr. Vibe
That's an
shows.
Air
Goodness
Force thing,
gracious.
right? Air
Yeah.
Force
Dr.
soft skills. I
Vibe.
think that's where you get that from.
See, appreciate that softball, brother. That was good. That was good. Coming from a man of your caliber and of your rank. Appreciate that, sir. Much respect on that. Just want to be
Lord.
down with the cool group here. Doug Lehman is in the building, coming in from YouTube. Normally,
Layman's
yeah,
terms.
normally
That's
see him
right.
on LinkedIn, but appreciate you for being here as well.
Yes.
Look, Gabe is bouncing back and forth. He's going back from you. See, now you're over here. All right, so that's an interesting thing because funny how this goes.
Mhm.
Gabe was over there on LinkedIn, and
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about various platforms, we've talked about various tools and things of that. But the one constant that we have amongst us is one particular platform. We don't own the platform, no, but the one constant, just in terms of reach, accessibility, uh, consumption, for
Mm-hmm.
ease of consumption, is YouTube.
Yep.
Mm.
I wish
Yep.
the community tab and the community aspects of
Yes.
YouTube were better.
Me too. Yeah.
But
That
you
would be nice.
can't beat the second biggest search engine on the planet, which is owned by the first biggest search engine on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
as kind of as the 1B in terms of primary resources and
Mhm.
locations. Right? 1A would be your website, that kind of thing. Your james6.org, that hicksnewmedia.com, the thing that you own from that perspective. But you can't beat having those two things, biggest search engine and YouTube, being a place that you kind of live, that folks know where
Mm-hmm.
to find you, right? Folks can subscribe to you, folks can follow you, get the notifications, folks can know when you're online with your own channel, your own show, or your guest hosting, that kind of thing. Talk a little bit about how that platform, which again we don't own, but
Mm-hmm.
has helped your business grow. But the trajectory of each of your businesses and your reach, how has YouTube helped or hindered in that? I don't want to assume anything, but how has it helped in that?
For me, it is at the top of that system that I showed you, right? Because I know and I use it and leverage it as a search engine. It's not my direct monetization source. It just isn't for me yet. And I say yet, but it probably won't ever necessarily be that, because I'm not putting that type of time and energy in it to be that. But I know that people can look at videos that I deliver or that I recorded 2 and 3 and 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of the content that I create is evergreen. And for those that need to know what that means, it means that I talked about it 2 years ago and it's still relevant today, right? So I know that a lot of the content that I've intentionally created is timeless. And it's because what my intention is to create, I don't know if any of you were, I'm going to show my age. Do you remember encyclopedias? Okay.
Oh, that mercy.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
I
that's
have
way
some
back,
right
right?
here.
You might have some, right? Okay. So for those of you, you youngins who don't know what those are, it's similar to, like, I don't know, it's today's version is Google or Wikipedia or whatever,
Mhm.
right? So we're creating these playlists of themed content that people can come and they can consume at any time and learn about the how-tos or get more information to build their own thought leadership because of what you're sharing, right? That to me is the purpose of YouTube. And that is what has helped me to become the thought leader and to build the credibility that I've built. It's because over time that starts to compound. Those videos that I've done way back, like I mentioned, I've been coaching for 20 years now. So I've got videos from way back where people can actually see the morph. They can see me changing from, here I am with the caricatures because I didn't want to be on camera. So I'm doing voiceovers on top of slides, to where I am now. They can see the progress. So it also serves as social proof. I've created a playlist of all of my speaking engagements. If any of them are on video, they're going to be in that playlist. So it becomes a, what do you call it? A press kit. It can become you can use YouTube in many different ways, not just the traditional way that you've seen people use it. And so for me, it's done a lot from a visibility standpoint, and it serves as a place where people can it's a knowledge base, right? Where people can see me in action.
Encyclopedia Britannica, y'all. Go look it up. Because we had the white set and we had the black and red set.
We had
And
the blue,
shout, well,
the
y'all
navy blue, and
high
then the
end over there,
brown.
man. I think we may have had that too. Man, y'all look it
And
up.
there
Back in the
used to be,
day,
remember, there used to be encyclopedia salesmen. They would go door to door trying to get your mom and dad to buy a
man,
set of
Yep.
encyclopedias.
And you
y'all
had to keep them
don't
up
know.
to date. because they got outdated pretty quickly.
That's right. Before this
So
internet thing existed.
right. So before the evergreen content, the fact that Tanya was saying she did something 2-3 years ago, you can still clip it up and find something that's relevant today. Syed, I see that you said the word was medium, not platform. The facilitator over there, the instructor over there. So yeah,
Yes.
listen, I see all the
Hey.
comments. We over there doing it, and then listen, shouts out to you, Gabe. Appreciate you, brother. We appreciate the love for the super chat there. I don't know what you're gonna say now, Jim, because you can't follow that up. She flashed
Yes, you
back.
can.
You can't follow up the
I went to
Encyclopedia Britannica.
It's
encyclopedia.
okay. It's hard. It's hard to do, but someone's got to do it. Now, I think I would have to agree with her though. YouTube, like for Dealcasters, YouTube has grown because of our product videos. But on my own, if you want to call it personal YouTube channel, I haven't necessarily put the focus on it because my focus has been not about making money off of videos, but off of building a business. Because I
Yes.
think sometimes people get too caught up in being, oh, I got to create videos and then I'll get, Google AdSense and X, Y, and Z. It's like, yeah, but if the internet went out tomorrow, how are you going to make money?
What you gonna do?
Yep.
Right. And so I think, people spend hours and hours to put up a 10-minute video. I tell you, most of the time, mine's one take, and you're going to see
Mm-hmm.
it the way you see it because
Mm-hmm.
I
Raw.
think that's, unless I have Mr. Stone do his magic, it's one take.
Unless he blesses it with some descript. So he asked a question, which is interesting because I talked about the community settings. If we had that crystal ball, if we sat in that room in Silicon Valley with the YouTube executives and could make communities within YouTube better, what would each of you do? What's one thing that each of you would do?
I need the emails of the people in my community
Yeah.
because otherwise I have no way to know who they are.
We
That's
don't
a
need
big
it to
one.
turn into another Facebook group, and I suspect that they won't do that, right? But I agree. I think that needs to happen. I also think it would be nice to have more content variety. I know they have a few options, but it's not great. For instance, you can only do square images.
Yeah.
And people don't just do square images anymore. We do the 4x5s, we do the carousels, we do other things. So just giving us a bit more variety and options in there would be nice. And then also having a way for people to, I guess, again, going back to what Jim said, making sure that we can connect even if something happens to YouTube. Like we need that integration possibility, which I don't know that they'll ever do that. But yeah, and I totally agree with you, Jim. Jim, on your point about the whole, I'm not using YouTube in the way that people are using it to monetize strictly from YouTube. I don't necessarily care about that. What I care about is my business. I'm a coach first. I'm a video strategist, sure, but I'm a coach who is looking to serve people and help them to be empowered to do what it is they're purposed to do first. So whether they watch my video or they hear me on an audio podcast or they read an article I wrote or see me on a stage, any of those ways could be the end for them to actually sit down with me one-on-one so we can talk about what's going on with them. But I don't necessarily have to monetize from video because I have strong foundation, which is what we started with in this conversation. So
go ahead, Chad. Listen,
don't build your house on sand, y'all.
Another
Just
marker
saying.
right there. Had to look down because I'm going to cut that out too. But
he's like, I want to save all of these to make his own
I'm
t-shirt.
just going to listen again. This whole session is going to be micro content in a little bit. But that piece right there, I don't want to gloss over that. And then we're going to bring this plane in. New creators, I think, are still trying to become millionaires off of YPP, off of the YouTube Partner Program.
Yeah.
Listen, it might happen, but the odds of it happening are probably not. Shouts out to the YPP. Yeah, checks come on the 21st of the month. Folks, that's when they come. I'm transparent. I know I get a handful of them, but it's not keeping the lights on right now just YPP. Having
Hmm.
a catalog of services, having a catalog of value, having a private premium community, having conversations, having consultancy call, building your business around and not relying on one sole thing, not having all the eggs in the basket, trying to find all kind of analogies that folks will probably understand. But man, don't just rely on getting monetized and getting the YouTube partner program. It's not. It's great. I mean, it's a good feather in the cap, but it's not the whole cap.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think too, you hear so many times like, well, I've done all these videos and I don't have any subscribers and I'm not making, it's like, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And if you don't
Hmm.
have a community to share with and build, or if you're not engaging with other people, because I think sometimes people like, I made this channel. I mean, or you have these people on LinkedIn. Well, how come nobody comments on my brilliant post on LinkedIn? Well, do you ever engage with theirs?
Mm.
Nope.
I know Chris Stone can tell you the same thing. We'll have people that they're big speakers, they make a lot of money, but they don't understand why they're not getting engagement on LinkedIn. And it's like, well, do you ever go like on Dr. Hicks' post and just give some sort of
Hmm.
commentary, not trying to sell yourself? Well, I don't have time for that. There you go. You just got your answer.
There you go.
Nobody has
And
time for you.
There you
that's
go.
the magic formula, really, if we had to give a formula at all for any of the platforms. That includes Substack too, y'all. Wherever you're spending time, if you want to get it's a reciprocal situation.
Yep.
So if you want to get visibility, if you want to get engagement, then you have to give it too. So that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's all of the spaces. And that's why I constantly am saying you don't necessarily have to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Even if, again, I show up in LinkedIn simply because that's my calling card, because I know people are going to go there and look for me. And if they look and they don't see you, that could chip away a little bit at your credibility, especially as a speaker, author, coach, etc. But I don't play there. I do play heavily in my other spaces,
Hmm.
partially because I believe in the idea that if you feel good and you feel joy and you have passion about where you spend time, then you're going to seed it and you're going to water it and it's going to grow. And so I want to spend time in spaces where I feel joy and I feel supported and I feel encouraged and I can give that back to other people. But if you're not giving back, you're not going to see the growth. So definitely, Jim.
I
Very
love
much.
Saeed's comment. You you know those people who only reach out when they need your help moving apartments.
Right.
We all know them. We all know them. I love it. I love it. Sarah Mary Parker said she should be following on YouTube, but you still on Facebook. You got to come over to
Come
whoever's
on over to
YouTube.
YouTube. Come on, Sarah. I
I'm
know her.
sorry. Okay,
She
I'm
has
putting you out
started.
there.
She's one of my people. She just started delivering some amazing
Gangster.
video.
Okay,
Mm.
do your
She
thing.
is on it. Let me tell you, this girl is smart, intelligent,
Yeah.
super amazing, beautiful, all the things. But she's now started video. So I can't wait to see what's
Says I'll
coming
be
out of
there.
that.
Go ahead, Michael
Awesome.
Jackson. I'll be there. That's what she said.
Okay.
Okay. Just
Come
dated
on.
myself again with that one. But all right.
But we knew what you were
We
saying.
knew. Me and Jim, the gray hairs over here, but Tanya,
Mhm.
she aging backwards.
I'm
She's the
great.
youngin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
And
go
we
with
will.
that.
I brought that up on specifically because we wanted to wish you belated happy birthday because I know you just celebrated as well. So we'll say
Actually,
that.
nope, I'm celebrating on the 13th. My
You said
daughter just celebrated today.
okay.
Both of my daughters and myself were all September, so we celebrate all month long, but I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I think that's a September thing because my wife's birthday is in September also, and it started on the 1st. It's birthday month, so
Yep,
we're celebrating
it is.
birthday month here in the Fuse household.
Is that right?
It's a
Yeah.
Virgo thing. We do it
Yep.
all
It
month
is.
I'm
long.
Scorpio.
Even I
October.
don't know if you guys know Megan Powers. She's another September birthday. She says the same thing. So I'm
Ah,
Okay.
convinced that all you September people,
it's
ladies
true.
specifically, they get the whole month.
Watch out now.
It's
Don't
So
true.
get yourself in
so
trouble, Jim.
happy first day of football birthday game day to you.
Happy month to you. Happy month to you. I love it. Folks, I don't know what to say. This is crazy. But people in the audience, check it. This is what we do, right? You notice that we do three things here. We enlighten, entertain, and we educate. And I think Jim said it earlier, right? We come in correct. We not holding any bars. We not restricting the conversation or the dialogue. We're telling you again if the baby's ugly, telling you what we like, what we've used, what we haven't used, but letting you make that decision. That's the conversation here on the Technologist Forum. Rising above the line, rising above the noise. Follow these folks. Co-hosts, and it's not my show. This is our show, so I'm going to change that dialogue. Every week we've got new co-hosts that come on, and we have this conversation Thursday at what is it? 4 p.m. Pacific time. I don't even know what time it is. Lord have mercy.
4
7
p.m.
p.m.
I'm
Eastern.
just producing. It's not my. I just produce. Okay.
6 p.m. Central.
So
We
I
just
don't
put
know if
all
we
the
have any.
time.
I don't know if we have any mountain people, but that would be 5 p.m. for you mountain folks.
who's in the mountain? What's in the mountain time? I don't know.
I think it's Colorado.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll be there
Yeah.
next week. Okay. Shouts out to Colorado.
Say hello to my sister. That's where she is.
She's not the one that was jumping out of planes, is she?
That's my daughter.
Lord have mercy.
She's a skydiver. Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. I am mad at you. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do it.
I'm
I
not
saw
doing it either.
I saw
It's
her.
fun.
I'm gonna leave that to you, Jim,
Nothing
and to
quite
her.
like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
As he starts reminiscing back to the days. Okay. We'll
Yeah.
leave that there.
That was my one time with the Army,
Mm,
airborne school. So
Wow. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
bless
fun.
you.
A request for
That's why I'm so
September by
short. I used to be tall.
Look, Doug is putting the request out for September. I know, right? Yeah,
could
I
play
listened
it.
to that all month long. I listened to it all
Oh
month
yeah,
long.
look at that.
Tanya wake up in the morning playing
I do.
little Philip Bailey in the morning.
It's true.
All right.
It's true.
Folks, listen, this is what we do. Appreciate you. I'm gonna bring this plane in, so I'm gonna be cognizant of these people's time. Send us your requests for conversation, your requests for topics. We got a whole Notion worksheet of things, and we're building on that continuously as well. But we want to make sure that there's value here, and again, especially for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, digital creators, folks that are wanting to rise above the noise and actually do something productive within their business and for their community. The skydiving is one. What is he saying? Skydiving is one activity
Where you don't get a second try.
see.
But that's not true. There's been a few people that have.
Yeah, she's actually done it 18 times.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
people that have bounced off the ground and they were able to do it again.
Oh yeah. Well, okay.
I don't know. But I don't know where we're going with this.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna.
Dr.
I don't
Vaughn
want to
said
be
I'm
one of
with
those
ya.
people, but it has have been miracles.
Y'all pray for those folks. And I will be still sitting in my seat if you decide to jump, because I'm not jumping.
Trust.
Speak 20 says thank you.
Staying in my seatbelt this weekend when I fly. Yeah.
There you go. Travel safe, sis. Listen, come back on Thursday. Again, Technologist Forum, 4 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe to everyone's channels. And listen, if you found value in this session, let me know. If you did not find value in this session, let me know. Other than that, we out, y'all. Be good.